Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some more Gundam 00. Let's go ahead and take a look at the comments that we have today and see what everyone has to say. Up here at the top.
Bibbidi bop.
Fail Fisher says, I hope your suspension of disbelief won't snap yet if the first half of season 2 is already straining them, because you'll be bungee jumping with them in the second half and the movie. Ribbons is voiced by Toru Furuya, the voice actor of Amuro Ray, the first Gundam protagonist. He's also the one voicing the narration. It's the biggest clue that something's up with Ribbons. The last scene is where the info I gave about O being the Japanese word for king fits in. Uh, the O Gundam,
Yes. Gundam Double King. I understand now.
yes. The Zero Gundam is the first Gundam in this timeline. There's also some unverified info about this series initially having a chess motif during the planning stages, but since I can't find a confirmed source, I would not burden you with the explanation. There will be more references to the first Gundam series later on. Pun explanation time. A-laws could be pronounced as A-laws. The Japanese spelling is unpronounceable to me, but pronounced in Japanese is Arozu. The character, I think J here, is pronounced as the ah sound. With the switching of the L and R in Japanese, it's a pun on arrows. And you'll notice that their logo looks like 3 arrowheads of different sizes. Their names could also have been shortened from above the laws, which appropriately describes how they act without accountability. Yeah, no, that part seems true.
I think I already made that joke when I saw them asshole outlaws. A-laws.
I would say there's also a tiny bit of irony in that the classic anti-fascist logo is 3 arrows, and of course the A-laws are the most outright kind of fascist thing in the show right now. So that's an
Also, I
extra
think
joke
the
humor for
show
me.
would probably been easier to follow for me if they had gone with the chess motif.
Hmm.
I have read at least one other hard sci-fi novel series where like the family names are all game related. So there's one refugee planet, refugee family from a planet is like the only surviving chess named people, and they like find
Hmm.
refuge on a planet full of playing card named people. So I mean,
Oh, that's kind of amusing.
it sounds stupid, but it's literally like post-apocalyptic.
It's
Like
just naming schemes. It's fine.
yeah, like they're recalling like how the kings got taken out first, and it's like I think they're the rooks or something in
Hmm.
the thing. So it's just like I appreciate it. It also makes things easy to remember if you've played a game in your life.
Well, if you want to have a show that has mobile suits and a chess motif, oh boy, do I have a suggestion for you, Theta. Can you guess? It's Code Geass again. It
Uh,
keeps coming up lately.
well, you made it sound like I knew it, so I'm just thinking, like, was that Line Barrels of Iron? I don't remember.
There you go. So I do love the little foreshadowing here. Maybe Ribbons is just the main character after all. Or maybe that's what we were supposed to figure out as the intention or
Well,
idea.
no, they're saying he's the voice actor of Amuro Ray, which is Universal Century. That has nothing to do with this.
Um, well, I mean, he's saying these are all hints, and I think the hint is supposed to be that he's supposed to be very important and is supposed to be a person leading the plan.
At best, he said he's the voice actor, or they said, I don't know. I don't know what
At best, it's an
gender is.
Easter egg, which I find very
At best, they
amusing.
said he's the voice for the narrator, which tells me that we're going to end this show, and Ribbons is going to be an old man telling the story to a bunch of kids.
He's gonna be floating through space, remembering how he got
But,
there.
sir, how do you know about the parts you weren't there for? Like when Setsuna was a child in the Middle East.
You keep your mouth shut. Actually, Go One says, so you would know in season 2, the new Federation united all the factions AEU, Union, HRL, and the Federation oppresses anyone who opposed the unification. And the A-laws in this new brutal military unit under the Federation that does the oppression. Yeah, that checks out. It's separate from and more powerful than regular Federation military. Catharon is the rebel group that consists of former AU, Union, HRL that oppose the current world leadership and AWOLs. Celestial Being is still around to now fight against AWOLs. And yes, Lock-on Stratos slash Neil Delandy in Season 1 died, but Setsuna went to recruit the twin brother Lyle Delandy so that he becomes the new Lock-on Stratos.
I'm not making fun of this commenter, so don't. If you watch this to hear this, don't think I'm pointing it out at you because I make this statement for like a grand number of other commenters that didn't have their comment read out. But there's a lot of people out there that think we are just fucking stupid. And I don't mean that like I know a lot of that gets pointed at me, but some of this is like blanket statement to the both of us that somehow we didn't notice that Lock On is a different guy, even though we talked about it when it happened. We talked about it before in Season 1, before he even
We
died.
commented how much we loved it.
I mean, we've mentioned it a number of times that we know that Lock On isn't the same guy. He's a twin brother. It just... So again, I'm not making fun of you for like pointing it out again, but it just gets said a lot. I don't think we get credit for at least having baseline intelligence.
I will go ahead and say I do appreciate everyone out there trying to keep us up to date on facts just in case they fall through the cracks. We love and appreciate you.
Yeah.
Especially you,
Again, once again, I do like being kept up on stuff we may have missed. I will say though, specifically, I do prefer it when we're kept up on stuff that we've missed that's only been in the show. And I particularly love it when it's not in a sarcastic tone. That has to be my favorite way to receive information in a
got you covered.
In a non-sarcastic, matter-of-fact way.
So there we go. So at least we have Catharon is more than just some random rebels. It is everyone who was opposed to unification.
Like the
These are the
IRA.
people who want nation states back. They're the bad guys.
I mean, technically, it would be, right? Because what they want, it seems like, is their countries back. And, it's segregation of peoples from one another, which is what causes wars to begin with a lot of times. It's also separation of resources, right? If America drops out of the World Federation, right, then all the resources of America falls out too. And then when the Federation needs a specific resource that America has and is willing to give up, that's conflict.
Yep.
So
we're right back where we started.
Really, if you think about it, we're better off as a world government of fascists.
Don't you go there. Oh, I got words.
I'm just saying, less people would die.
Donchus Powerus says, I can finally say this. Aeola's first plan is to unite the world by removing the main sources of conflict by diverging everyone's attention to a single group. They were never meant to rule. They were made to fight against world governments and all other things that promote war, disengaging humanity from the zero-sum game that everyone has been playing by disrupting it entirely. They're not even targeting civilians, only the ones with weapons, aka armed combatants. Effectively, making them a resistance rather than terrorists.
Quick correction though, technically not. As is covered by the manga Double OF. They don't only interfere with armed insurrections. They also interfere with immoral acts, as they've stated. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. I guess I will go ahead and cover up with the usual boilerplate that I do, that terrorism is basically a political hot potato for anybody you don't like most of the time. But of course, terrorism is generally any violence towards any political goal, even if it is aimed at other things. So yeah, all the time, resistance technically are also terrorists, but sometimes the resistance wins and then becomes the current government.
Well, I mean, terrorism has a, full-on definition,
yeah.
So, anything that's aimed to create terror or fear is a terrorist act.
But yeah, given that we got the plan basically laid out to us last time, that celestial being is literally just set up to be, like I think you originally said, just to be a target for the world to unify against, and then never really to rule. really does seem accurate. They have no other mechanism other than to fight
It's
people.
also the beauty of setting these comments up when to be read, because obviously there's no way of me knowing when I grabbed that comment for you to read, which
Uh-huh.
would have been like a week ago, in their response to episode 25, that we would have gotten this during this episode. So, that would have been a spoiler had you not read that at any other point.
I don't think it was entirely a spoiler. I think we kind of put that together at
Okay,
this
look,
point.
if we face this out in the same way that we've talked about other things, like, I can't remember when we were talking about it. Things that we know to be true, but it had not been confirmed. I think we talked about it with Ribbons, actually. That we
Yeah.
knew Ribbons was in charge and Ribbons was doing shit, but the show never confirmed it until just recently, right? That was a thing. That was the thing that we knew was probably happening, but the show only just confirmed it last episode by saying it out loud.
Right, right. It's good to have confirmation of things that, well, I guess maybe need to be said. I don't know. I don't know how to word that. Anyway,
Well,
Ken says,
the whole show don't tell thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you gotta tell though, because otherwise, if you're just showing me shit, then I'm gonna get a migraine, and I need
Yeah.
to know.
Sometimes when you're about to move on to more complicated things, it's good to make sure everyone is actually on the same page first before you get going. Ken says the A-Laws are basically Gundam 00's version of Oz from Gundam Wing. Yeah, that checks out.
Not really. Oz did things. Oz did a lot of things, right? But some of Oz's goals were like, okay, I can get behind that. That's all right. Not
Yeah,
everything Oz did was horrible.
Oz is like more directly fascist in the fact that they're basically a military coup that takes over, whereas the A-Laws are kind of more an instituted set of suppressive police, which I mean also fascist in their own way, but is more doesn't outwardly have to be on ideological basis, right? But Oz has to be.
I mean, I don't think Oz were fascists.
They have all the iconography required for it.
They
They
didn't.
hit all the symbolic marks of being such,
Right, but they didn't.
primarily being a
Oz did
military
not
coup.
delve much into world governance. They left that to other people. They controlled
Mhm.
the military.
I
Uh,
think they gave it over to a whole bunch of nobility.
Yeah,
So,
and then then the Oz leader gave
more like trade
speeches. It
represents.
was Trey's.
Yeah.
Gave speeches to that nobility, which then swayed them. Like they didn't give him like world
It
government authority. He just had world military authority.
it's hierarchical class-based structure.
No, the world government was. That's not Oz. Oz had a military based structure.
Yep. Let's see. But before we get too far to Gundam Wing, Lee Hong Jun says, Theta, the scene where Saji points the gun at Setsuna, you were saying, do it, do it. It makes me think of you as Palpatine telling Anakin to kill Dooku from Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm trying to will things into reality. If I
Oh,
say
yeah,
it out
no.
loud, then maybe it'll happen. Maybe this little
Oh,
asshole will get shot.
I need you to, like, pull out, like, the robe now, Theta. Just put it on. Just be like, give it your hatred, Saji. Uh, we want our boy to do more things. All right, we're gonna get some
Those are the
Palpatine
robes.
here in a
Those are the
minute.
robes right there. That's why I was
They've been there all
considering it.
along. They've been there all along.
Considering it.
All right. Fuzzy Mud says, what happened to Saji was his supervisor was part of the rebels and he was arrested for trying to help. Ah, poor Saji. Saji needs a hug.
Yeah, I had to go back and rewatch that because it just like happened in a moment, and I didn't realize kind of what was happening. That the dude was getting arrested, and Saji's like, "Did he do it?" And then Saji got arrested. It's like, oh, okay. And it was also the thing that was happening there was the same reason why I was like, oh my god, that's Luis at the end of the episode. Is that I
Mhm.
didn't recognize that was Saji at the beginning of the episode. Well, because they were like wearing civilian clothes all throughout season one, so it was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is how I recognize them. And then Saji is just like in a spacesuit from here down, and I don't recognize his face off the bat. and then he's arrested, and doesn't show up again for a while. So the same thing with Luis. It's like, okay.
All right. So now that we've uncovered that mystery around Saji, let's go ahead and see what our boys are up to. Last time was the twistedness of innocence. During his meeting with Regetta, Tierra learns of the Innovator's ties to Veda and Aeola Scheinberg's complete plan, while the A-Laws obtain 2 new pilots. Patrick Colasar and Innovator Revival. Wishing to know more about the Innovators, Tierra gets undercover to infiltrate a gathering of A-Laws and Federation officials at the recommendation of Wang Li Wei to discover the true leaders behind the A-Laws. Ribbons Almach. Disguised as a woman, Tierra meets Ribbons, who reveals to him that according to Ailola's plan, Tierra should have died with the rest of Celestial Being 4 years ago. Refusing to join the Innovators, Tierra is forced to flee. With his attempts to kill Ribbon is halted by another Innovator, Hilling Care. However, out of earshot, Regine reveals that Aeola was obsessively attached to the first phase of his plan, and that the end result in the entire plan hinges on the outcome of the conflict between Celestial Being and Ribbons. In the meantime, Setsuna, who was sent at the Tierra's backup, is exposed to Louise as a member of Celestial Being by Billy Katagiri and joins Tierra in escaping via their Gundams, but face Ali Alsaches on the way out.
In the middle of that, I heard Boji's mother's name, so. Sorry, Boji's stepmom's name.
Hilling Care. Let's see if I can get like a picture of it for you real quick.
Well, I know it
Okay,
does not look like Hilling from Ranking of Kings. So.
Alright, just to clarify, Hilling Care, who I don't think has been named yet, is Ribbon's twin, i.e. the one who walked in with the gun.
Oh, I can't wait till we include on our next poll who would like win in a fight, and it's like the Exia versus King Boss, and yeah.
Oh no, that'll be fun actually. I think a giant could take on a mobile suit.
More prescient advisor, right? Soma Moranja. Ah, shit, it's a character you don't know yet. Damn it. I just want to include everybody in all these polls from all the different shows. But they only limit us to 4 options.
I do though like how our recap summary here indicates Aola was obsessively attached to the first phase of his plan. He really did just set up himself to be in conflict with 2 different things that he wanted and said, all right, everyone in the future, just fight it out and figure it out.
Yeah, it's Foundation. I already made that joke like during season 1.
Oh my gosh.
When the thrones showed up. That
Foundation is just more and more prescient here.
Well, yeah, it's, Foundation is, here's Foundation, which sets you up to get through the what's it, Dark Ages, I can't remember what they call it. Dark Ages, and here's other Foundation that we left on Earth. That place we made you run away from.
Our backup copy.
Well, actually, they're in conflict with one another, is the point.
Mm-hmm. So, I think the last thing here is Ali's back, baby! We're gonna have a fight to start off with.
It's exactly what you think!
It was me, Ali, all along!
Need to make like a GIF, or not a GIF, a sticker, or something for the Discord, right? That needs to be a Discord, just his face, and it's that sticker has to be because stickers are bigger. Just
you need like the Dio Brando. It was me all along.
Well, it's because we have the Prospera, that thing that she does. It's like so that we have a because we get all these response stickers for people, So you say something stupid, and then I have the Alejandro. It's exactly what you think.
Oh, there you go. That's how you're supposed to like interject into conversation, right? Just go, it was me.
Well, it's never going to be that one because I'm never watching JoJo's unless someone pays me.
Well,
I hate that show.
Everyone, quick, get to the Patreon. Force them to watch JoJo's. Do it. Do it for me.
JoJo's is about as likely to happen here as One Piece is.
So, Theta, you got any kind of extra thoughts before we go ahead and get into it today?
Yes.
All right, you want to share those thoughts?
No, they have nothing to do with Gundam.
All right. Then. Then before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel just a little bit extra.
I'm sure someone's made a gif of it though.
Oh, undoubtedly.
そうさ、僕たちはガンダムで世界の歪みを破壊する。ところがギッチュン。
It was me, Dio,
Yeah.
with the help of Kyoji.
まさか。
That's a G Gundam reference tied in there.
始めようじゃねえか。ガンダム同士によるとんでもねえ戦争ってやつだよ。行けよ。
Allie is really getting
Oh, what I meant to
really
mention,
getting cocky.
what I meant to mention before is they're talking about distortion, and immediately made me think of Witch from Mercury.
Oh god.
The
yeah.
ending song, "Call Me Distortion." The lyric in it.
物足りねえな。ガンダム。生きていたのか。アリアルサーシス。おや。けどな。
Oh, I was calling him Alejandro. That's the UN guy. Never mind.
野郎の命だけじゃ物足りねえんだよ。
Who's also dead.
貴様。
Allie's just like so casual, even when murdering. He's just like, yeah, sure was.
てめえの命でな。
Did we just stop getting intros? Did we get an intro last time?
No, we didn't. They're just skipping them.
ガンダムで行かせて正解ね。
I guess it's
待
convenient.
機中のアレリアたちに連絡を。
In the editing, anyway. You made him a Kyrgyz brat, though.
貴様がロックオンの敵か。
You asked who killed Blacon. I think you were trying to indicate Soma killed Blacon.
Or at least someone was getting the blame.
敵討ちをさせてもらう。
Right. This dude literally just...
右目が見えねえくせに戦場に出てくるだ。貴様。
The little
That
hand.
is fucking stupid.
こっちにもあるんだよ。何。
I mean, it makes sense from a mechanical standpoint. What if you need a third hand in your knee? But not just reading that on paper.
まだまだ。くそ。何。
Hope you don't have epilepsy.
Ah, I might now.
まとめておだぶつ。援軍。4対1か。
Alright, he's not even that cocky, at least.
I mean,
さすがに分が悪い。
He was fine with 2v1 apparently. Before, nah, too much.
well, I forgot for a moment that that was a Thrones model. Technically, he's also getting poisoned with shit.
Oh yeah.
なぜ止める。奴はロックオンの敵だ。兄さんの敵。やはり生きていた。
Yeah, it seems that that giant battle above the Earth was effective only in killing one guy.
クルジスの小僧ね。しぶてえ野郎だ。けどな、そう来なくちゃいけねえよな。こうでなくっちゃ。
Heck, go
What
kill
are his
another reporter.
motives? What are his goals? I don't know anymore.
リージェネ、君のおかげでパーティーが台無しだ。
ティエリアで怒らせたのは君だよ。うまく振る舞えば彼を仲間にすることもできたはずさ。せっかく僕がお膳立てしたというのに。
Dude even dresses
彼ら
like
には
Trays.
僕たちに対抗してほしいのさ。
Rivet just can't help but be an asshole.
アローズは世論から支持を受け、その行動が正当化される。いいんじゃない？相手がカタロンだけじゃ物足りないわ。戦闘用である私の出番がなくなっちゃうもの。
Oh, they're combat types. Okay.
2つの GN ドライブを搭載したガンダムはソレスタルビーイングが独自開発したものか、それともトランザムシステムと同じようにイオリア・シュヘンベルグの遺産か。
どちらでも構わないよ。あの程度の性能、ガデッサに遠く及ばない。次の戦闘でリバイバルが証明してくれるさ。
Yeah.
私の出番も用意してね、リボンズ。
もちろんだよ。
It wouldn't be Gundam without a child soldier. On every side.
セツナたちは無事脱出できたよね。イノベーターとの対立は変革を加速させる。
What are your goals?
楽しみだわ。
You just operated behind the scene for fun.
Turns out the name we got for her is actually a code name. Her real name is Veda.
問題ありません。ご心配をおかけしました。私の体についてお聞きにならないのですか？
聞いてほしいか？
いえ、お気遣い感謝します。
部隊に戻ったらガンダム追撃作戦が始まる。今のうちに休んでおけ。
は。
ルイス・ハレビー。4年前、ガンダムによる攻撃で
See the creepy guy who met her in Soma?
自らも
It's like,
毒
ah,
性を
girls.
持つ GN 粒子を浴び、細胞障害を患う。
Maybe, yeah, I think he's Sergei's son.
復讐か。あの若さで戦場に出る理由。可憐なドレスこそ似合う少女が。
この青年はソレスタルビーイングのメンバーだ。
刹那 F 精鋭。あの機体ミスター武士道。ガンダム各機収容完了しました。全 GN ドライブトリミーとの接続作業開始です。
Okay, does she have more information to know that the Thrones and Celestial Being were two different groups?
I'm not sure anyone else on Earth makes that distinction except people in the know.
Well, assumedly, the military side knows because Ali is like PMC for them. And he's flying around in a throne suit.
ああ、偶然にな。元気だった。ああ、お前のことについて聞かれた。
Yeah, she was doing okay. She just had an episode and needed her meds.
そう。
I expected his hands to come up from the last screen.
連絡
Two hands!
それは。あのガンダムは何なんだ。それに兄さんの仇って言葉通りの意味だ。あのガンダムに乗っていたアリーアル・サーシェスがロックオンの命を奪った。アリーアル・サーシェス。詳しく聞かせて。
Come on, guys. We booked the drama room for this time.
スミルノフ少尉、ハレビー准尉、無事帰還しました。
了解した。続きを。
Yeah, Second Lieutenant Smirnov. Yeah, he's the guy.
経過時間、移動速度から敵艦はこの辺りの海底を航行していると推測されます。我が隊は6機のトリロバイトでエリアを包囲し、発見次第攻撃を開始します。
制空権の確保は？
モビルスーツ2個小隊もあれば十分でしょう。彼らは海中から出ることがないでしょうから。
その戦術には異を唱えさせてほしいですね。お忘れになっていませんか？敵艦は大気圏を突破し地上に降下してきたのです。ならばその逆もあり得るかと。
そんなことが。
Well, it is a spaceship.
And a submarine.
How many atmospheres do you think it should take? Anywhere between 0 and 1.
それを利用すればおそらく静止衛星軌道上に展開している部隊との連携をお勧めしますよ。敵の作戦指揮官も
I mean, if you know where it's at, just launch simultaneous depth charges all over the area all at once so it has nowhere to go.
ライセンスがあります。
Bomb it to shit.
機関もワンマンアーミーだというのか。ミスター武士道と違い、大佐の戦術に従うことをお約束しますよ。
Plus, I probably have a real
それ
name.
はありがたいな。
Someone who actually listens.
なる
Wow.
ほどね。
兄さんは家族の仇を討つためにそのサーシェスってやつを何を笑う。世界の変革より支援か。兄さんらしいと思ってな。不服なのか。いや、尊敬してんだよ。家族が死んだのは10年以上前のことだ。俺にはそこまで思い詰めることはできねえ。
仇がここにいるとしてもか。
何？どういうことだ？
俺は KPSA にお前から家族を奪った組織に所属していた。
Now he has to go through the same drama again.
Alright, pull out your gun, we'll go to the beach, we'll figure this out.
This is the same beach Lockhon threatened me at.
And after that, you can cut my hair or something. We'll remember it was a really convoluted beach scene.
神の御前に捧げられる聖戦である。伝統を軽んじ、神の土地を荒らす不信仰者どもに、神の代行者である我々が鉄槌を下すのだ。
あの時、俺が仲間を止めていれば、ロックオン、いや、ニール・ディランディはマイスターになることもなく。
刹那、その時お前が止めてたとしてもテロは起こってたさ。そういう流れは変えられねえんだ。
だが
Alright, he's way more understanding about this.
そうさ、俺たちは過去じゃなく未来のために戦うんだ。
Sorry, it's...
Just taken aback?
No, something completely unrelated to what's going on the screen. In the manga, the room that they're constantly having meetings in looks exactly like this room. And I only just noticed that because there's that bar that they were standing next to.
Yeah, the Zero G bar, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's literally what Von Spark is always sitting on. So it's just like, ah, is that kind of room.
いや、今はミスター武士道だったね。
勝手にそう呼ぶ。迷惑千番だな。
気に入ってるのかと思ったよ。ところで、今日は何の
I mean, I've seen your anime collection, man.
開発主任就任の祝福を。
それは。
それと、試作段階のあの機体を私色に染め上げてほしい。
どうやらそっちがここ
You
に
have a lot of colors going on, man.
要望はあるかい？
We don't have enough paint for that here today,
I see
actually. It's not in special order.
green, red, gold, blue, purple, black. Which ones are your colors again?
ソレスタルビーイングを。
無論だ。私はそのためだけに。
High price for a paint job, though.
そういえば君のいる部隊、作戦行動中のはずじゃ。
艦隊戦に興味はないな。
そこまで作戦を読んで。
心眼は鍛えている。
Really want that scene about how you survived exploding in the cockpit of a Novus.
Isn't that like dereliction of duty? He's like supposed to be there, but he's just not, or
he has
like,
complete
some weird
authority
like,
about what fights he is in and doesn't get in.
What a weirdo!
No, that's like his one thing. He doesn't have. He doesn't follow the chain of command because he doesn't have any. I mean, to me, it looks exactly like the Enact did. Except maybe a little bit bulkier. I also feel like they're sending out completely way too little amount of forces, considering they have a whole world government.
今、考えをまとめている。
あの時の続きを聞かせてくれ。お前が見つけた歪みとは何だ？
それは。
Her name is Murine.
変革は痛みを伴う。君たちだってそうしてきたじゃないか。
It's Hallelujah all over again.
I mean, at least this is just inner conflict.
Sometimes it's a reflection on this in a mirror of a dead person.
Setsuna came in to check in on him and continued the conversation they were having and gets interrupted 5 seconds in. That's just terrible luck.
Well, it's not like he was listening anyway. Somebody's trapped down a well?
中東をあのままに空へ上がる。アローズから逃げるために。
攻撃予測時間で○○04を切ったです。まだよ。ギリギリまで引きつけて。敵部隊に反応。大型魚雷です。アリオス、ケルディン、デアビー、トランザム開始。了解。トランザム。
If they all activated early, they'll be unable to do anything later. It's gonna be Setsuna versus now.
Well, apparently you can just transfer Trans Am from a Gundam to a ship.
I guess they all work on the same system. No reason you can't like use generators and hook them up. I guess.
Of course, we can just make anything up. It is a spaceship.
Oh, they just lined up for it.
Well, you know, every time they like, I want them as close as possible. It's always like Death Barrage or some shit. Death Blossom. Oh, that's right. Her and the other woman have like a history too.
Yup.
What about railguns?
We've seen that since the beginning.
No, lock-ons is a different energy thing. This was like a full-bore sniper rifle cannon. This thing was accelerated something. Yeah, the only one who can come up with 3-step plans.
This is definitely a very fun battle, just going from like multiple different elevations. It's really cool.
And now we get to see a battleship
way.
in play instead of a carrier. Yeah, probably. You're in an overpowered Gundam. Quick, turn sideways. You wouldn't try that? I think I would.
Also, that was the most battleship-looking spaceship I've ever seen.
That's what I just said is the actual battleship.
Yeah. It took me a moment more to register it, really.
スメラギさん、敵モビルスーツから有視界通信によるメッセージが届きました。
メッセージ？
なんだ？
読み上げますか？
お願い。
No, just
ソレスタ
delete.
ルビーイングのリーサ九条の戦術に敬意を表する独立治安維持部隊大佐カティマネキン以上です。
なんだそのメッセージは。
マネキン。カティマネキン。
next 5 episodes are a college thing.
そんな彼女がアローズに。
スメラギさん、どうしたんですか？
逃げられないのね、私は。あの忌まわしい過去から、拭
College.
えない過去から。
You're not allowed to remember college.
Is this an ending?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. You think we're adding things? We're just adding a little bit of extra time to some endings, or because usually it cuts right to this scene. They don't usually hang on the rifles.
Right, they really wanted to show it off there. Like, that's as dramatic meaning as it gets, right? Rifles buried as gravestones with roses growing over them.
Sure.
It's just fun imagery.
I mean, I think we really put it to ground that everyone has someone dead in their lives. I mean, we knew this. This is the thing that all the characters have in common. They even fought about it once, and they did it again this episode.
Oh gosh, I just realized the ground texture there was like so pixely.
Yeah, because it was playing up flashbacks of our past.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it's retro graphics. You're right. You're right.
No thoughts?
I mean, I'm trying to organize it. It kind of was one big battle, huh?
I mean, it was just strategy versus strategy. I just still don't think they were doing the smart moves.
So, 了承した。ジェジャン中佐が戦死。これ以上の犠牲を出すわけにはいかん。彼らに要請するしかあるまい。イノベーターを。
I would say our only hope is to ask them to stop.
Gosh, there's more of them. Just the red-haired one in the background.
形式番号 GNR010 機体名オーライザーよ。
よくやってくれたリンダ。こいつがあれば。
The other thing he was designing earlier in the episode.
Yeah, he was like going over that while I was like going up to the space elevator.
Supposed to be faster than Gundam, apparently.
ことで生を実感する。ならば過ちがないと人は正しき道を選べないのか。次回天の光。それは罪を背負った天空の輝
You
き。
know, the lights in the sky are stars.
I think like the thing on my mind right now, just like out of context of everything else, is Setsuna and Tira like have like a stoic friendship, right? I feel like it's a thing, but like I feel it doesn't get enough attention. Like literally this episode, they're about to have like a heart to heart and like talk to each other about stuff, and Tira's about to like tell Setsuna like that he's an innovator, that like he's vulnerable to like all this stuff. But they just get cut off. They all their possible screen time just keeps getting undercut by something else happening.
I don't think they have a friendship at all. I think they have an understanding. You don't remember in season 1, purple hair guy was pointing a gun at Setsuna. Yeah.
I mean, I think the way that they interact still tells me at least that they are interested in talking with each other beyond just being coworkers.
I think what we have here is the old problem that we used to talk about a lot during D&D, which is that we have a week between sessions to talk about stuff. So stop coming to the table and wasting all of our time talking about stuff. These people have god level amounts of time on the ship where they're not doing anything between scenes that they could be talking to each other. So why are they only doing it and then mixing it up when it's on screen?
I think I just bring it up because, like, for the two of them, I think, like, it's a good humanizing thing if we, like, got more text of it. Whereas, like, if it's all off screen, it's never mentioned, then Setsuna continues being an orange, and Tiara, I guess, has the innovator plot now. So he has other stuff going on, at least.
I mean, it just falls to my constant Witch from Mercury versus Gundam 00 comparisons. Witch from Mercury is filled with humanizing elements, and then we get sudden shocks of, war is bad statements. Whereas
Right.
Gundam 00 is all war is bad statements with shocks of humanizing elements.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I think that
Well, that's the
context
thing
is.
is that a shock doesn't last,
Mhm.
right? That's why Witch from Mercury constantly returns back to humanizing elements, because the shock of the anti-war statement is something that we have to pull through, versus Gundam 00, which is an anti-war statement which inures us to the how horrible war is by constantly having us in it. And then the shock of humanization, which wears off. That's why I'm constantly like, I can't get with the characters, because the humanization element wears off of them.
Yeah, and if we want to talk about media and like war is bad, right? On one hand, like any show or any media has to have that inner conflict between like trying to tell the audience this is bad, it needs to stop, this is horrible, and then also making it really, really cool and entertaining to watch. Because today, I think it was really, really cool and entertaining to watch. This was a battle from the surface, from below the surface to orbit. That was a fun scale of battle. That was really cool.
Because that battle wasn't war is bad. The
Yeah,
war is
that was.
bad statement from the episode was the bombing showing us a clown selling a balloon to a child, or a family sharing some ice cream together on a bench,
The
and then
cloud is dead.
the after image of it. Oh, well, the clown is dead. That's the point. That everybody that was there dead, including Lockon's parents.
Mhm.
That was the war is bad message. The battle was just a cool looking battle.
Yeah. So, but those things are in conflict, obviously, because like dummy child me could easily step away from this and go, "It's like, wow, I love the fighting. I wish I had a machine that could do lots of murder like that."
Because fighting isn't bad. Fighting is fun, right? Um, well, no, I mean, to go back to Witch from Mercury for a moment. The duels are not bad. They aren't the anti-war statement. Dueling is just fun. Our weapons are toned down, so you shouldn't be hurt by any of this. Something has to
Yeah.
go really wrong. The anti-war statement is when the terrorists attack the school and literally shoot people. That
Yeah.
is not fun. That is supposed to stand opposed. That's why people are cheering during the duels and crying and running away during the fighting. Same thing
Right.
for here. That fight, nothing was really at risk. Our shields are up, right? There's no problems here. Nobody's really concerned. Versus the terrorist attack.
Mhm.
Literally, the anti-war statements in these shows, both of them really are terrorist attacks.
Got to see the violence inherent in the system sometime. We'll have to
I
get a
mean,
Gundam
in
show to do
recent
that
memory.
more.
Obviously, we've gone a long ways from the intervention in like local conflicts, and even then, all we were seeing was machines fighting each other. We weren't really seeing like people being stepped on or houses being destroyed, because they were conflicts in regions of resource attainment, not.
In places that were generally away from civilian places. I think like they did a couple where they like were swooping into a city, if I recall right. But they also like drew that into the water too. They haven't lingered on it. But I think that brings up like another interesting thought. Celestial Being has been kind of just on the back foot, running around without really accomplishing anything for a bit. And the plot is now we have to fight the innovators. So we got to get around to actually like directly doing things soon.
Because they haven't had the resources of authority that they had in
Yeah.
season 1, where they were backed up by UN observers and they had multiple organizations and bases to go back to. Now
They've had to build up the entire time.
Now their UN side has been shut down after they were betrayed by their UN observer guy, and then Ribbons took over the resources they had left. I don't know. They don't have that base anymore.
How does a group that was never intended to rule develop the ability to have any politics at all and relate with others and form alliances and stuff?
Because they're run by people. For
This is
200
exactly its
years,
conflict.
for 200 years, they've been run by people.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the comments is going to say, but Veda this and Veda that. Cool. Veda doesn't do anything, though.
Mhm.
Veda's controlled by people who for 200 years have been able to throw the plan awry. And yes,
Yeah.
the show is over. You've watched it to the end. Congratulations. You know you're right. Against two people who haven't finished the show yet. Pat yourselves on the back in the comments.
Yeah. I guess, like, those people are Catherine now. Celestial Being needs Catherine because Celestial Being sure isn't, like, doing any politicking.
Well,
Celestial
we
Being
already
is for
know.
fighting.
We already know the 3-step plan, though. It was told to us last episode.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Well, I mean, like, what Celestial Being's plan is now, not Aeoliola's plan, which is, like, everybody now fight.
No, Aeoliola's plan was step 1 of the plan. He got hung up on it, as we already know. And we already know that Ribbons and company, the innovators, are willing to go with step 2 and 3 of the plan. So, we already know the plan. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel ruined by it now because it's not a mystery box anymore. Like Witch from Mercury, we are 20-ish episodes in, so I guess we're still in like first season of Gundam 00 by comparison, and we're still trying to figure out who's tied to who, and like why is Shaddiq going to the Sal if the Sal is operating against everything that Shaddiq seems to be plotting for. It's like what the mystery box is still open. We can still ask questions and not know what the hell is going on. Whereas here, we know what the 3-step plan is. The people in charge don't seem to have anyone there that are going to backstab them because they're at the top now. Plus, they've got superpowers.
So I guess next time, superpowered brawl, innovators versus Gundams. Who's gonna win?
The Gundams, because they're 19 to 21 foot tall machines, meter tall, 19 to 21 meter tall machines, and the innovators are people on the ground. It's literally just a soccer hooligan argument again.
Yep, there you go. So hooligans win once again.
It's literally not what I said.
Alright, so this has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?